But why don't you cock yourself? Sell your vote, you don't sell your future, but that sell your birthright. How much self? Divide them by 4 years. How much with that? No sell your vote, oh. No matter the thing them they tell you. No matter how the thing they do you. No matter how much money them they give you. No sell your vote, oh. No need to fight, oh. Because your picking no go join you. They go, they won't corner, they laugh you. Oh, don't sell your photo. Yeah.
Okay. If you look at the situation, everything harsh for this our nation. Poverty rising and inflation. Line still day for the fuel station. Things gotta change, my determination. This election, no intimidation. Protect your selection, we gotta make sure everybody votes count for the future. For the future.
Shine your eye, well. Don't let anybody deceive you. Don't let them take your vote from you. Now your future be that, oh. Yeah. Now your future be that, yeah. Oh yeah. Together we can make Nigeria better. Oh yeah. One voice. We can make Nigeria better. Oh yeah.
No sell your vote, oh. No sell your vote. No matter the thing them they tell you. No matter how the thing they do you, no matter how much money them they give you, no sell your phone.
Okay, banya kairu, I beg you photo. Time don't come again, no. Them done they show their face, so no sell your right, oh. Now follow them fight, oh. It's over to you, so no fear, speak up, you yo. So ginger, don't let anybody spoil them for you. The power is in you, no sell ammo for money, no sell your vote, your right, your hoe for fufu.
Sasa baku sai ya kare. Duk wani tanadin ku sun shashare. Hankalin ku kar ya bace, gaba ta fi bayewa. Taimaki kanka ki mi rayuwa da inganci.
No need to fight, oh. Because your picking no go join you. They go, they won't corner, they laugh you. Oh, don't sell your vote for your bad. Hey.
Mommy, daddy, CC, baby, no make mistake today, it goes for your tomorrow. Mommy, daddy, CC, baby, the time don't come again to go, so make we match. Go, we go both, we go come to work together, we go decide our future.
Oh, no matter where you come from, we're part of a great nation, that's so. Everyone sing with me, yeah. From the hilltops of Obudu and then Ubu, from the plateaus of Jos and Taraba, from the food baskets of Boko and Otubo, yeah, to the smiling, shining sun in Sokoto, we go voto. From Ondo to Jeba, we go voto. From Port Harcourt to Kaduna, yeah, till no one is left behind. Nigeria is yours and mine. Yeah.
Ngema, alonyaga for together. Ngema, alogweja with each other. Ole male. Votes are only with your PVC, man. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the University Dialogue. Let me just reiterate that music. You heard it, and I'm sure you were dancing to it. But the fact that the message is very important. Don't sell your vote. Once again, I want to welcome you to the University Dialogue, the platform where we weekly sensitize, educate, and enlighten the populace on government policies, programs, and activities. And you know that when we do that, we'll also get a feedback for government. We're not just doing it. is to enable government fine-tune our policies and programs to suit you, the populace, for which we are doing this. It's very, very important. Now, this activity is one major activities of government because the Independent Electoral Commission is a commission of government, and so it's all about government. Now, they have a critical role. That role is to conduct election. But you know what? It comes in phases. Whenever any election wants to come, we have the pre-election preparation, and then we have the election proper itself, and then we have the post-election. So one of the critical elements of election is the pre-election preparation. Now, this preparation, and one very key preparation, is to compile the voters. Election is all about voters, it's all about voters, it's all about voters. As you know, it's a social contract. Come to think about it, social contract. The people you're electing are holding the position for you on trust, and so it is very critical. Now, one thing is this: when the voters, register is compiled, there are rushes, there are human errors, and all of that. So after they have done that, the law has given them a time when they will display this thing, and then people will come and check and say, oh, this T is not crossed, this I is not dotted. I made a transfer, but I can still see my name in the whole place. The transfer is not effected. And beyond that, do you know that somebody can also make an objection in the register that, no, this person is my son. He is 14 years old. How come his name is in the register? This name I'm seeing is my Cotonou neighbor now. He's not from Nigeria. And so how come? This my uncle is dead. And so all of that, the purpose now, let me just use the word, is to shift, the shaft from the wheat to come up with a more authentic voters register so that it can suit you proper. Viewers, today we'll be discussing the topic, display of voters register, citizens' role and feedback. And I have, experts, as far as I'm concerned, I have people who are very capable, and they will take us on a journey on a very fantastic discussion. On my immediate right, I have my brother, my friend. His face is not new. He's been with us, and we're also been with him. He is no other person than Mark OSULOR. Even though he's a barrister, he's not title crazy. Mark OSULOR. He's the HOD Publicity and Voter Education, INEC Rivers State. Sir, once again, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you, and good morning, viewers. We are here to talk later about the going concern of INEC towards the 2023 election. And
also on my immediate left, I have an amiable gentleman. He's also not new to the studio. He's one of the people who facilitate the conversation and then enlighten you very well and make you, have confidence in the whole system. He's no other person than Barrister Nathan AKPORS. It will interest you to know that Barrister Nathan AKPORS is River State Coordinator Transition Monitoring Group. So you're welcome once again to the University.
That's a big one. Thank you and good morning, viewers. That's a big one.
So, viewers, we're going to start on this note. I'm going to start with my INEC man. You have heard him before. He's always very loaded. Just sit down. Everything you want to hear will come from him. No stress. Seamless.
Thank you.
So, sir, let me start on this now. What is the display of voters register all about? Is it a new concept that you introduced into the pre-election, or it has always been there?
It has always been there.
No, it don't.
Preliminary display of preliminary register of voters is empowered by law, and that is Section 19 of the Electoral Act of 2022, that says that such display shall come not later than 90 days before the date of election. And the display of preliminary register of voters is a kind of action that can help the registrants to know the position they are in our register, and they will know as well if there any claim or objection. These claims or the objections can come in a way of complaint and report. If it comes in a way of claims, it means you're checking the name in the register to know whether actually the name you impute in the register is still the same as it were when you did it with the registration officers. And secondly, whether there is any omission of the data you gave, ranging from your name, where you stay, and every other data, date of birth, whether it is correct before they print the permanent voter's card. On that stance, the INEC can avail you from EC2 to process with such claim to the review officer. Then on the second part is objections. Objections can be raised by anybody who is within the area of that registration, where they can as well ask if this person is a Nigerian, is he still living or alive, is the place of abode recorded in our data the same place that has appeared in this preliminary register of voter, is the person of a voting age. If the person is not if all these criteria are not met, the person can raise objection via form EC3 to the review officers. Then the review officers, before they start anything like having any formation to have a table to receive these claims and objections, they must.
Let me interject you, sir. I just want you to tell us on the surface what it's all about, but because we're going to go deep to know the process. What it entails, the step-by-step process. We're coming to that.
Okay, that is what is claims and objection. And for INEC to have power to appoint a review officer, that has been a proviso of Section 20 of the Electoral Act of 2022. That is what we are doing now currently in the field, in all the registration areas. And it is stopping today in the registration areas. From tomorrow, that is from 19th to 25th, it will be in the local government offices of INEC. In the whole nation, in the 774 local government areas of INEC in the country. Thank you.
Mr. Boss, going by the name of your organization, Transition Monitoring Group, it is a key stake. There are key stakeholders in the electoral process. By your assessment, do you think INEC is on track? In the display of the voters' register, do you think it is timely and appropriate?
Okay. Thank you once again. First of all, let me commend NOA for this continuous creation of awareness. It's so unique, and we encourage others who need to create such awareness not to relent. Given the resources that we cannot say that is so much, NOA can still continuously do this. So kudos to NOA first. And I expect INEC to always greet NOA for helping them carry out and create this awareness. Now, going to what you said. So far, for us in Transition Monitoring Group, from our national to state here, we've been following up on this constitutional activities or activity of INEC as regards voters registration pasting. According to the Act, is stated that INEC must do this. And so far so good from our observation, from our monitoring, which is our core values, we have been, INEC has done the needful by trying to post this across the over 8,000 centers or 744 local. Yes. From all personally, I have gone around. I have seen these registers all posted. I have gone online myself. I have tried the system to check how one can go through. Otherwise, I will just start questioning Mr. OSULOR's position. I have gone through the last night. I went through it to assume I want to make a complaint, and the system was going fine. Now, I'm saying this because anything that is good should be encouraged.
Of course.
Yes. So far, INEC has been keeping up to this. However, as the program goes, we begin to identify some more things INEC should do. Because this is happening, like we say, in our years of election, we've not seen this type of busy activities pre-elections. So that's one good thing that is going on. Nobody cares about whether voters' registers are posted or pasted for anybody to see before the election date. All we were concerned before previously was that when is the election date? How can we go there? We will go on that day, begin to cause trouble. Oh, my name, I'm supposed to be in this ward. My name is not here. But today, it is now part. It's not like a normal. It's not normal, but it's like a normal thing because INEC is trying to follow the law, and we are beginning to expect that they follow these letters of the law very strictly and trying to be fair to the citizens, to the political parties, and to every other relevant stakeholder. Very importantly, I was trying to discuss with you before the studio opened, you could see that the new Electoral Act gave the window, unlike the old one, that 90 days before the election, this must be done. So in the previous law, there was nothing like that. So that is to tell you the target is to make sure they get it right. And we believe that they will get it right. But from our also, to add to this, we've been observing, we have been making comments to INEC at the national level from our national chairman, most especially as it relates to the observations that we saw at the registers, the voter register already done, the preliminary ones, or underage voters and the rest. So what we are waiting to hear from INEC strongly is what action, what deliberate steps have they taken? Because we have made this public, we have gone public with this. What deliberate step are they taking to correct these abnormalities? Because that is the purpose of the display. What are the steps, these little complaints that we on our own part would make? What have INEC done? So we want to we'll take on them on this and begin to get a proper answer. But so far so good. It's all good.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sure.
I cannot wait for you to ask me this question before I answer. Well, everything has a procedure. The reasons for this claims and objection is for a certain cluster of the public that wants to challenge whatever that is abnormal that can come by way of objection, that this particular person is not of the voting age, that is not up to 18 years. Yeah, if such is done, I think they are still in line with our process, and it must be looked into during the hearing of the claims and objections, and INEC has the final decision to take via the resident electoral commissioner in the state. AKPORS is in line with what he's saying, but we are still in the process.
Okay.
We still have 14 days after the display to reply to all this.
Okay, Marcos, let me ask this. Do you think, because the voters register is huge,
Yeah.
you know, for the first time that we are hitting over 90 million voters.
Yeah.
So, do you think that INEC has the capacity to reconcile all this in 2 weeks?
What we'll be doing is just pragmatic, following the pragmatic roadmap to approach conducting this expected elections of 2023, and we are getting closer to that. All our activities are in line with the legal framework of the this nascent institution called Independent National Electoral Commission, and we act within the guidelines of the law, our extant laws. And I think we are still in line with the process, and we are telling Nigerians that we are towards getting it right the way we normally do. But I feel it will be better this time because of the technology-driven process we are now working with. And this display of a preliminary voters register, before now we did purge the register because we got early planning and early intervention indicators from the local government electoral officers, whereby they went in an investigative manner to get out those that are dead and those that are no more in existence, and we have to purge them out of the register before this display. It is in line with the election monitoring system, election management system, where we do early planning and early logistic planning. We are still in line, and I'm assuring you that all is gearing towards delivering a very credible election in 2023.
Okay, let's go into the nitty-gritty now.
Okay.
What are the steps? The step by step. I want you to take the step by step. One needs to take, after which one can beat his chest and go home and say, I have made claims and objections.
Okay. Before the review officers are drawn from NYSC, the national members of NYSC, and members of staff of INEC, they are to display this preliminary voters register in the wards, which is ending today. Started from the 12th of November. Today is the 18th of November. We are stopping today, and the process has been that it starts by 9 o'clock daily and ends 3 p.m. And before they start the display, they must paste a notice of these claims and objections in the table they are, or at the wall where they are, for people to know that this is what is going on within this area. And INEC, as a collaboration with the security, ISES, Interagency Consultative on Election Security, has provided for security within the area where they are doing this display of preliminary voters register for claims and objections. And the registers are supposed to be posted within a particular wall, whereby the rain will not touch it and people will not tear it. They will gum it there for people to now watch for a possible omission of their names or possible incorrect spelling of their names, and possible ensuring that the data given to the registration officers are correct. Now, it starts by a claimant coming to say that my name is not there, my name is omitted, or something is added at my name, or where I stay, I want to stay and vote is not captured, and the place that I gave as the place of abode where I reside is not correctly spelled. Then they will issue you what is called Form EC2, that is where it will start. Okay. And the forms are being kept on the table for ease of administration. Okay. And we have the review officer and the assistant review officer there present, and they will be interfacing with those that are making claims and objections. Okay. The lines of those that are making claims are this way, the lines of those that are making objections are this way, in case if there is such, and they are trying to manage the crowd. Then those that are making objections can come by way, it is open to the public and not a particular registrant. Anybody from the public can come to say, I saw this person's particulars and it is not in line with our extant laws and regulations. 1, the person may not be a Nigerian. 2, the person may not be at the voting age. 3, the person's place of abode as indicated in the register is false. 4, whether, I don't know, all these series of if there is any false claims and the false, because anything we are doing is on oath, false averment in what we are doing in the register, the person can raise an objection via Form EC3. And this Form EC3 is to be issued to the person objecting. The objector can be given this Form EC3. And after filling the Form EC3, the electoral officer will now sit together with a small committee to be formed. The committee is the committee of AEO admin, assistant electoral officer admin, assistant electoral officer cluster, and assistant electoral officer operations. They will sit down and they will demand for evidence in lieu of the objection made. If there is material evidence to be proved, to be showcased to the electoral officer, it will be accepted. Then if there is any other evidence in way of people coming to testify, it will be accepted too. After all these hearings and after the electoral officer critically looking at what and believing the same to be truth or false, he has the right to go to the register and write at the left part of the register, objection allowed, or claims allowed, or claims not allowed, objections not allowed. After all this, the whole register and every report of the claims and objections will get to the resident electoral commissioner for final endorsement. And this endorsement will be the starting point of the corrections to be made within 2 weeks, as the law provided. And these corrections to be made is in response with the claims and objections, as my dear AKPORS mentioned. These are the processes.
Okay, now, you know, there is a keystone sitting, which means that, Barrister AKPORS, you are also a lawyer. Good thing to both of you are lawyers, so, it makes it easier for us for today's conversation. Now, if I hear him well, I understand him. There is a kind of an onus of proof for the person alleging or objecting that so person, so that proof is on the person alleging. I want you to expatiate on that, because it is, I think, if I'm correct, it is based on that proof that either objection approved or not approved will be made. So even in law,
Yes, just to quickly throw some light on that. EU alleges should prove.
Okay.
If I say that this is not the real name of this person, I should be able to come out with a document to say that. If I say that this person is no longer living, there is a procedure in our law that when somebody passes, there is a certificate that is issued. So you that is confident that this person is not alive for this next election, and you want to bring that information to INEC, you have the responsibility, because it's all our responsibility.
Yeah.
This job, what we are doing today, for us to get a free, fair, and credible election, is all our responsibilities, not only the responsibility of INEC. So for me to help INEC do their work more better, once I want to make it work, I will not just come and whisper. It's a very busy situation. I will tell them, this is why you are not, this is why this should happen. This is why. Now, why, just to throw a quick one, I was just seeing, when Soso was talking, I was just seeing the gap in this, the little gap in this procedure as captured by the law. Okay. The gap is, it does not give provision for INEC, what the lawyers will say, for where the court will act for INEC to act on its own.
Okay.
They don't need to probably see a petition or a complaint, for they will see the obvious. We'll call that the fact speaks for itself.
No, sorry, let me cut you now. Excuse me. If they allow them that,
yes.
Because if somebody did not prove beyond reasonable doubt and they allow INEC, say, just look at
that, is where I'm saying that the powers, the inherent powers, for example, if I have used all haste to register a voter, I didn't check the age of that voter, and the voter submitted evidence to show that that is my age. I'm seeing 12 years old, and I'm seeing the birth certificate as an attached document. I do not need any further proof. That's why I said INEC on its own, Swomotu, will delete that name from the register instead of coming to paste it for us. That's the gap in this whole process.
So, sorry to interrupt you. That's a situation where somebody brings the birth certificate of that person that, look, rather than this person is, look at the birth release, the person is 12.
Yes.
Of course, that's how I agree with
you. If in these things were done live, for example, photographs don't lie. If a 10-year-old comes and do registration, we know that there are exceptions. If a 10-year-old come and do registration, INEC impute the real age 10 years, then after compiling in their review, they now observe that. In fact, as a matter of fact, INEC have responsibility to go after that person without anybody making any formal complaints. It is what their eyes will not see, what their ears will not hear, that they will now be waiting for A, B to come and lay a formal complaint to say, this INEC, please look at this. INEC, please look at that. But INEC should have the inherent powers to say this. I know we will not talk about abuse, but with the kind of job that is saddled on them, they will hardly, because when they do such, they will display and give you the reason why XYZ was done, just like they have supplementary list. When they disqualify such voters, they publish it, they make it public. And they should go when you do something, they make it public and give reasons, contest it rather. It's better you come and contest that. No, I am of this age. Prove to us, because from what our record says, you are not of the age. So INEC should push it to the voter and say, come and tell us that you are of this age, than to leave them. If there is a conspiracy, such a voter will have his way. So that is one of the little gap I'm beginning to.
Now, what I want to, Mark, let me come to you before you chip in. A situation where there is an allegation or there is objection that Mr. John is a Cotonou man.
Yes.
How will the person alleged be able to approve that, and what steps will INEC will take to make sure that such allegation is found?
Okay.
Yes.
I earlier told you that if there is any objection raised by any member of the public that is supposed to be a citizenry of the country anyway, the person must be abreast with the information is given to us, and further buttress that by bringing evidence, adducing evidence to that effect.
Yeah.
It may be material evidence, it may be in a way of people coming to give oral evidence. We put this into consideration, and after getting to the resident electoral commissioner, who has the final say, INEC will go ahead and delist the person's name from the register. Secondly, I want to later inform you that the recitals of the background information given to the registration officers during registration is being checked by the registration officers to know if the person is actually up to the age of registration as a voter. Then after these preliminary examinations and we find out that the person is not up to the age of 18, or the person is not living in that particular place he claims to be living, then we may not register the person. That is number one. Because one, we will look for evidence of date of birth certificate. Yeah. And we now, if the person do not have, because of their illiteracy or rural inclination to where they are living, extraction anyway, then we will adduce evidence to the elder, the most elderly person in the community, or the chief, to give us oral evidence that is traditional, that will make us accept the person and register the person. We don't look at the miniature situation of the body. Yeah. You understand? Then we base all our investigation on facts and records according to the law. So all we've been doing, we've been acting according to the law. We have not done anything outside the ring of the provision of our extant laws.
Thank you. At this point, let us open the telephone lines to our viewers. Well, I'm coming back. Let me just open the telephone line. The telephone line are displayed on the screen. Please do well to call. When you call, please follow this instruction. When you call, if possible, the device through which you are viewing us, reduce the volume, and then just your name, your location, and go straight to your comment. Please put it as simple as possible. We are discussing for enlightenment and for education, please. We don't want any controversial thing. Thank you. So please use that medium to get across to us. So let me say this. The register is going to be displayed physically and on the website of INEC. They're already there, like AKPORS said, he saw it seamlessly, was able to go through and all of this. Now, the question is that, for example, somebody from Ekiti, he registered in Ekiti, but currently is working. When it gets close to the time of voting, he will travel to Ekiti and remain there and vote and come back. But for now, he's working here. Now, he goes online seamlessly, he checks, everything, and then he has some claims and objection to do. The question is, can that man in Ekiti State, as well as just like he has the privilege of checking online, also do his claim and objection online, or he will need to travel to Ekiti physically to appear in INEC office to do his claims and objections?
Okay, I have earlier told you that the Electoral Act has made our processes to be technology driven. Okay. And since the appendage of Mr. President's signature to this current Electoral Act that made it an extant law for our commission to operate upon, we've been doing things electronically. Okay. We have our website that can enable people that are not present within the area of our display of a preliminary register of voters to check it online. This is www.inecnigeria.org. If you get in there, you will see all the icons that are ready, asking you which one you want, either for claims or objections. If you do any of this, it will pop up for you to make your claim. Send it back to INEC. INEC will reply by giving you a printout, a print. They will reply that acknowledging the fact that they've gotten this from you and give you a print of which you hold. Okay. Then, if hearing is being done and we get up to the evidences we need to act upon your request in lieu of the claim or objection, then you will get satisfied because we are going to respond accordingly. We can operate online, we can operate physically, whichever way you want. Just click to the website, as I just said, www.inecnigeria.org. You get response from us.
Let us get this thing straight. I already know that you can check online on the website.
Yes.
And see your data. Peradventure, your data is intact and correct. You don't need any claims and objections.
Yes.
You just say, oh, thank God. But now, in a situation where you have to make claims and objections, can you still on that online?
Yes, of course.
Just do it without you appearing anywhere in your units.
It will avail you the opportunity to pop up your state, local government, your ward. You will check this. Then if you have claims and objections, it will still pop up for claims and objections. There will be optional icons asking you either you got claims or objections. When you do that, it will still pop up and give you the form for claims and objections. You fill it right there, then you send it back. INEC will acknowledge the receipt of the form and even notify you, yes, on the date of hearing. If you can avail yourself of going, you must be heard. You must be there to be heard.
Okay.
Yes. You must be there. And it is a fundamental principle and equitable principle of law that is called Odi Otarem Pater. You must hear the other side.
Okay, which means that some point you must appear.
Go. Yes, you must go. You must appear.
So which means what I want to establish, you cannot do claims and objection online. Yes. At some point you must appear to face.
Of course, you must appear.
Okay, that's what I want to. You may not be from INEC, but I know this question. Transition monitoring group. You have done so. You have worked so closely with the INEC, monitor the activities and all of that.
They are our watchdogs.
Yes, and that I want to put this question to you, even though you are not an INEC. I want to say, what are the overall impact and benefits of the display of INEC register to the 2023 general election?
Confidence.
Beautiful.
Confidence. You see, like I said earlier on, we've not seen this type. We've not seen it like this before. Now the awareness is getting very high and high on a daily basis. Now I can see my name. Now I'm sure that in that February I can vote. It's not like having it at the back of my mind that I may get it that day, I may see my name or I may not see my name. Right now I am sure. I am sure that it's my face that is there. Exactly. When I went to the website, I clicked on my own. Or what you were saying, if you click on your own name column, it will pop up for you to ask you what you want to do. Exactly. I tried to. Yes, I went further to make a complaint. It took me to another place I will start feeling, but because I do not have any complaint to make, I was just trying to see how the process goes. Yes, and I was feeling okay. That is one very good side about this internet activity.
And to add to what you have just said, yes, after the confidence is mentioned, it is equally a kind of an avenue to give us effective logistical planning during the election, for us to know the number of PVCs we will print, and for us to know actually those that are coming to give us bad name in our commission, to make us look as if we don't know what we are doing. If we'll be able to purge the register of these infiltrators, then we can able to present to Nigerians effective register of voters. You understand? That if you are coming, it will be loaded in the beavers. If you are coming to any polling unit, you will make sure that the beavers has an effective list of register of voters in any polling unit. Of which, if you come, looking at your face and your fingerprint, it will pop up for you to exhibit your franchise or perform your civic duty.
Before OSULOR took it away from me, there's some from his discussion. You see, you're asking, after making those corrections, do INEC will still want my physical presence? So the job is not complete. I could have had a provision to say, this is the true information. I can scan a copy of my birth certificate if it's my age that is the issue. Okay. I can scan a true copy of it certified and upload on the system. Yeah. This to them, but all these are not. Mr. Ozo is telling us that you must travel down. Who will take care of that responsibility? So these are some of the gaps now. Yes. We'll begin to work on. It's a work in progress, we know.
Yes, of course.
But you should be able to make provision to say, these are the exhibits I can These are the exhibits I can upload for INEC to see. Knowing fully well the effect of carrying on fake documents. It's a crime. Yeah. So if I'm able to, in my own name, upload a fake document and I'm found out tomorrow, I will go pay for it. So it's a very serious one. So INEC should not be afraid to say, this is the provision. When you make a complaint, if it has to do with evidence, documentary evidence, upload that evidence, scan it to us on our own. There are lawyers like him in INEC. They will observe it. If it's good, they don't need your presence. Either it goes.
No, like you said something. They said it's a work in progress.
Yes.
These are the things, feedback that they would have to fine tune this thing properly. You know.
Let me just let you know something. Like do you know the population of Nigeria is just about half of West Africa, and INEC has been able to come up to this level. We need an applause.
No. I got it. I just told him that he said it that it's work in progress.
Yes, applause.
You know
what we are looking at in this process is not 100 and 100 over 100%. Okay. We are looking at that little one that was complained, because the truth is that the process of registration is a very cumbersome. If you have gone through it, you know that they ask you to go through these details over and over again. So a lot of the information there, they are correct. It is just some very few.
No,
the percentage will not be up to 20% over 100.
Of course.
So INEC should now brace up, because it's not really so much that little complaint that they see. We want a feedback. We want to see a situation where we will come and say, look, after this reports, after this posting and pasting of this register, this is the outcome. We want to measure it. We want to see this is what the effect of this posting came out from. Yes. These are the people we have listed for this reason, for that reason. That will make us give INEC complete thumbs up. That's why we are working.
We've done that. After registration, we did ABIS, the Automated Biometrics Information System. We were able to say, look at the genuine registered voters and look at those that had invalid registration, which amount to double or multiple registration. And we were able to do it centralizedly, because we had a centralized data bank that we used to bring, because some persons did registration in Kaduna, went to Kwara State to do another one. We were able to catch them with the electronic driven process we are now operating upon. Okay. We are able to catch them and be able to say, look at the actual number of people that did valid registration and those that did invalid registration.
Okay, Marcus, let me just put this question for you, but you have to. When I want to take comments from our online streamers, Nigerians are known to be last minute people.
Yes.
Now it's on. What's today? About a week into it. But I know that from next week Wednesday, you see them. You start seeing them trooping out. What is INEC doing to contain this last minute rush? And the part B of the question: is there likely to be a shift in time? But wait. Let me just take the comments. Okay. We'll come back and then we'll take that question.
Thank you.
Okay. Viewers, we're going to take some comments now. Thank you for being there with us, for having this patience. Irene Ikelem is watching live. Chris Yoma, thank you. Sir Ellis Nradaba, you're streaming live with us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ben Owayuturu. Asimeri Akwaithem is also watching live with us, a very former Zimora, you are watching live. Enoch Ikorobia, thank you for streaming live with us. This one is from Peter Ekebie. He said the exercise will help the people who are coming out for claims and objection to be diligently attended. Oh, thank you very much for your thoughts. Yeah, if I God please will is streaming live with us. Samuel Achiban, it's good to know that you're there live streaming. Why Kana Command said issues affecting voters raised during the exercise should be given pragmatic and urgent attention in order not to disenfranchise them. Oh, thank you. That's the purpose.
My name is OSULOR, not OSULOR.
That's the purpose of this. Thank you. If our Lord brings you, you're watching live with us. Thank you. This one is also from Waikana Command. Is that officials involved in the exercise should be guided against indulging in any form of truancy, laxity, and any other form of unethical and unprofessional conduct. Mark OSULOR is saying this because you see the time is short. I understand what this person is trying to say. You go and the person has gone to eat. From going to eat, they have closed for the day, and all of this. Truancy, they are not seated there to attend to people, one busy excuses and all of that. Before you know the system, the time has elapsed.
All this is presumed company.
No, it happens.
It is being presumed because they went through adequate
these
training.
These people responded are from the villages and
Okay. I want to tell you, we've not had such reports. These people went through adequate training, capacity building before embarking upon this project. We drew them from where we have identities and where we have correctional measures that we can use and deter others from committing such an electoral offense of dereliction of duty. If you leave your duty post to where you for pleasure, where you are working for pleasure, we have our own disciplinary measures.
Thank you.
Mr. Someone should take this very comment as a strong feedback.
Yes, I'm taking it back.
In fact, very, very strong.
I'm taking it back to the commission.
I know what this person is talking.
Yeah.
I understand.
So it's strong feedback.
Let's just take the comment. We are coming.
Okay.
So this one is from Waikama. Haddock staff should know that disciplinary action will be taken against any defaulter according to law, and security agents have been mobilized to crack down on the will-be suspect. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's not business as usual again. So Haddock staff should be aware of all this. Samuel Achiba is streaming. Doris Omako, it's good to know you're streaming live with us. Barikua Uwe. Omagari Omarodon, thank you for streaming live with us. Okay, now, like I said, the Nigerians are last-minute people. And they will just look at even some people taking up their phone to even check online is laziness. One day I will do it. I will do it. Before you know, they are trooping out in their numbers. How prepared is INEC to take up this last-minute rush? And will there be any possible change, shift in time? That's the question.
Well, the commission, INEC is a kind of a regimented organization. We put this into consideration each time we are having a capacity building, knowing that citizenry of the country are very typical in behavioral tendencies when it comes to upsurge and surge, all we are doing. We have known that at the dying minute they will come en masse to ask for certain claims and objections. We have put our gadgets and our manpower and every other thing that they need to call, whatever situation that comes up, ready. We are there waiting for them. Anytime they come en masse to ask, make requests for any of our processes or what we are doing, we will answer to that.
Would there be a change in time?
We are acting within the law. We have a legal framework and we cannot beat the law because it will be against us. The lawyers too, AKPORS will take us to court. If they are watching us, AKPORS will take us to court and we will come.
If you ask me for me to chip into what he has just commented, I will say on this very activity of voters list posting, I do not, as an observer, I do not envisage a situation where there will be
enlightenment of that.
Yes, no, a cluster of people coming to make claims and objections. Because the process is an end point, but looks like a beginning. End point means that as it stands now, nothing INEC can do to add you to the list or remove you other than just make corrections. Now, let me tell you why I'm thinking this way. I transferred my state registration. Okay. I just picked my phone and I carried out the activity, used my phone and snapped. Only for me to just go to, when the list finally came out, my name was there. Now, the truth is...
The place you transferred to?
Yes, where I transferred to. Okay. The truth is, if it has not...
Fantastic.
We need an applause. See, if it has not worked that way, we need an applause. I have a plan B. The plan B is that if I'm so interested to vote, which because of the work we are going to carry on that day, we may not likely vote, I would have just said, I'm a card carrying member, or I have my voter's card. I will just take the plan B, travel to where I need to exercise my franchise, my right to vote. That's what would have happened. So that's why, with that reason, I'm not seeing a rush. The kind of things you see. Thank you. The kind of issues that will come up are negligible in some extent that will not make people cluster INEC because there is a deadline. So therefore, I do not see any extension.
And that is their perception. What are you going to decide to?
Let me also chip in that NOA has done a great job.
Very fantastic.
Been on the field enlightening the people, so they know the purpose. It's not for everybody. It's not a fresh registration.
Yes.
It's just for claims and non-claims. So they already know. So they probably agree with you that we no cluster because NOA has taken the enlightenment ahead.
But if there is,
well, there could also be. That's why I said
we'll be ready to contest.
Yes.
Okay, so we are winding up now. Do you think that INEC, engage all critical stakeholders for this ongoing display of INEC voters register with regards to publicity, enlightenment, and sensitization?
Yeah, let me tell you who our critical stakeholders are. One, the voters. Two, the media. 3, the security via Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. 3, NOA for information, Ministry of Information. Then people living with disability, women and youths that are termed as marginalized groups. We've all engaged them. The political parties too are our critical stakeholders. We've all engaged them in different forums, by way of meetings, by way of workshops, by way of stakeholders forum, by way of in different forums we've engaged all, and we've cascaded this to the rural areas by our assistant EOs, our AEO admin, Assistant Electoral Officers admin in charge of publicity in the local government areas. They have been interfacing using influencers like principals of universities, like VCs, using influencers like traditional rulers, using influencers like bishops of churches and other areas. We've also been having road shows, advocacy visits, and trying to interface with people. We've employed NGOs that are in form of voter education providers in the rural areas. We've trained them in Calabar. Those in the south, we trained them in Calabar. They are all working. I can mention a few of them, but it's not needed. No need. Okay. Then we're still working. We want to make sure that no stone is left unturned before the election, and we want to make sure that everybody that is of voting age comes up to exercise his or her franchise and has freedom to elect who or she wants. You understand? That is the level we are now. But the difficult thing we are having is that those that are going to work as adult workers, Rivers State has not made the adequate number of those that are going to work. We are behind. But for now, Lagos
is online.
Yes, Lagos and the Rivers, they are the highest, but we are still not up to. Yes, we are behind.
Okay.
So we are clamoring on for the public, those that are qualified, to apply via online. They must apply via online, and that is www.press.inecnigeria.org. www.press. Press means PRES. www is in small letter, press in small letter, .inecnigeria.org. Let them apply online. We have categories of supervisory presiding officer. We have categories of presiding officer. These are AKPORS. And APO 1, 2, 3. We can take from universities. Those are in final year or third year. Then the presiding officers, supervisory presiding officers are from government establishment, federal government establishment. You know about that. Then the APOs too can be drawn from members of NYSC, penultimate members of NYSC that has maybe from 2018 down to 2021. We can pick from there. So you can help us as an information agent to cascade this to all nook and cranny of the society in
before you go down, you write down the link.
Yes, I'm going to do that so that we will not carry other people from other states to come and work.
No. We have them sufficiently. It's last minute people. I always tell you last minute people. You get more than
and it's very typical in our behavioral tendency.
I just wanted to add to what Mr. OSULOR was saying that it is lucky that these activities of voting and being voted for is everybody's interest. Otherwise, they would have the publicity they are giving to this has not really gone the way it ought to be. You know, when this voters registration list was posted, people ran to it as if, but they ran to it. Oh, that is my name. Oh, this is my name, and they went back to their normal
business. Just
to check their name and the purpose of why that was being done. So now INEC should, what we're saying that they should take a step further in each of their sensitization, every process, the pre and main election and post election, they are all important. They should attach the same level of awareness creation in each of these categories for proper sensitization.
Thank you. And I would probably want to add that my department, voter education and publicity, is a going concern where we cannot just stop in any activity. We run around the whole activity. It's a going concern. It's moving on.
But we're rounding up. I want you to please take these few minutes that is remaining. Tell the viewers out there their rules, the rules they need to play as far as this ongoing sensitization, and also give that link again, once again, www.press.da.
As regards this display of preliminary voters register, you go there to check if the data you gave to INEC is correct or not. Then you go there to check if there is any imposture, any person coming to lie that he has this identity or not. The person that whether is a Nigerian, a citizen of the country or not. You have to make all these objections via our prescribed forms that I have earlier mentioned. Then secondly, about the ad hoc staff I'm talking about, we need people from River State, those that are in the universities, in third year and final year, fourth year, to come and register online to be able to help us work on election day as ad hoc staff of INEC. Then those that are in government agencies, federal government agencies, should come up to apply for supervisory presiding officers. We will accept them if they come up via the channel online. And it must get to our headquarters before they will give us the names in the states to make use of. Then those that have served from 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021, we are ready to accept them to apply to be an ad hoc staff during the elections. We will accept all these categories I've mentioned, and I want to give you the online website where you can apply. Is www.press.inecnigeria.org. If you apply, we will know that you've applied, and we will give you acknowledgement slip, and you will equally be happy that we've responded. Thank you very much. And more so, you go get your PVC. That is the first point of this performance of your civic duty on election day. Get your PVC so that you can be able to decide those that comes into governance in your particular states, in your country as a whole, and in your local government as a member of House of Assembly. Thank you, Red.
Viewers, it's on this note that we're going to wrap up today's edition of NOA River State Dialogue. Please know this. Claims and objection is not just going to check your name on the register and run away that I saw my name. There is a purpose for it. If possible, take your card, look at the information on your card and everything, look at it. Are they corresponding? Check, is your name properly spelled? You made transfer, is it there? And all of that. Check all of that so you know what to do. I want to use this opportunity to thank the amiable gentlemen in the studio. Barrister Mark OSULOR, thank you for coming. You've been wonderful on this platform.
My pleasure.
Yeah, Barrister AKPORS. Oh, we're very, very grateful.
Yes.
You know, you've been one of those that are advancing, the cause of this studio. And I also want to use this medium to thank everybody that streamed live with us. We want to appreciate you. We're doing this thing because we know that you're out there, you're listening. And then when you hear, also take the message further, cascade it down to the rural area. This thank you will not be complete if I don't consciously thank the person who is giving us this platform to air, to reach you. Is a person of no other person than, the Director General of National Orientation Agency. Is no other person than Dr. BARR, and he doubles as the executive producer of the NOA River State Dialogue. Of course, our own Barrister Young Ayotamno, who is tirelessly putting this together, is the State Director of National Orientation Agency, River State. He is the producer, and then we have those people behind the camera who are passionately attached to this dialogue. From the one they hit the ground, it has been, every Friday non-stop. The person behind it, the people behind it is not that person than Mr. Arolete Briggs. He is the studio director and HOD ICT National Orientation Agency, River State, and his able assistant that is seated just by his side, President Ojoma. I just want to thank everybody. It is on this note that we're going to wrap it up for today. But you've heard from the INEC man. He said, first you have to go get your PVC, and that's where the whole thing starts. Get your PVC, guide it jealously, and vote. Don't sell your vote because your vote is your voice. Don't sell your conscience because if you sell it, it's for 4 years, 80 years. Until we come your way next week, same time, stay safe. God bless you.